Hi, my name is Awan and I made a minimalist action puzzle for speedrunners in which death can be used to beat levels faster. But I haven't always been drawn in a minimalist art style. In fact, when I released Neri, my first commercial game on Steam, I realized that many people don't even want to give my games a chance because they don't look appealing to them. So I decided to learn how to draw and joined an academic pencil art course.
Wow!
But that hobby of mine didn't last too long. Soon after I joined, my favorite teacher left this place and so did I. But that was enough time for her to teach me how to draw things the way I see them instead of how I imagine them. We people like to symbolize. For example, when we think about something like a face, our mind draws a picture like that, whereas in reality a face is more like that. Recently I came back home for a vacation and I found those 3 folders. They contain my art from 2017 that I used to make for one of my earliest daily sketch challenges. There are around 150 pictures and I don't want to bore you, so let's try to speedrun the contents of these folders. So this is what I could draw when I started this challenge. You can see that I wasn't completely new to art, but I wanted to get better. And a lot of these pictures are titled "Discipline exceeds motivation." That is something that I still believe is true. As I like to say, doing something even for a little bit of time, but every single day and over a prolonged period of time, will work wonders for you. As you can see, every single day I would draw something completely random. I didn't have any structure in my head, I just drew whatever I felt like. And it was often very hard to come up with ideas of what to draw next. But at some point I decided that hey, okay, that's just one daily sketch. It will take me like 30 or 60 minutes. I won't lose much even if I draw something awful. So I decided to try and draw some characters from the game that I've been playing for over a decade, World of Warcraft: The Burning Crusade. Here again I tried to get out of my comfort zone and draw some characters, humanoids, landscapes, yeah, another thing that I still don't know how to draw. Here's again some random stuff. In the top left corner I tried to draw something with a pen, which was new to me. In the bottom left corner I tried to draw something from a real life photograph, something that I also couldn't do. And draw something trippy. And on the right side is just because it's a person again. And you can see that I was trying to avoid drawing many things that I didn't know. So I was trying to avoid drawing hands, faces, legs, or at least some part of human body on every picture. This way I could just focus on a few things at once instead of everything that I didn't know. Here's some other character from World of Warcraft along with some real object studies, I guess. Once again, random trippy stuff with a pen from my head and the drawing of a real life toy. When I was drawing these pictures I wasn't at home and I had very limited time, so on the left side I drew whatever I saw from the window and on the right side is just some random sketch for 15 minutes. Here come more of the World of Warcraft characters. And to the right is what I think is one of the best looking item sets in World of Warcraft ever. The added benefit of wearing it is that sometimes demon wings pop out of your back. I actually didn't know I used to draw so many people. To the left is another World of Warcraft character and to the right is, well, my attempt at drawing my girlfriend. Once again, a sketch of whatever I saw in front of me and the World of Warcraft character. A WoW character and a study of a photograph. More random stuff drawn with a pen and you can see that this time I tried to shade it too. I actually really dig the style in the bottom left corner. Maybe I should actually make a game with an art style like that. To the left is what I think is an overkill of shading with a pen, and to the right is a picture of that air conditioner that for some reason I thought was funny at the moment. This is actually a cool picture, I'm not sure I could draw something like that even now. And something tells me that I decided to draw a pug because I used to watch a lot of PewDiePie videos back in the days. The wolf is... Here's the wolf. These are just some bad drawings, let's keep them. I think that most of those pen drawings are stuff that came from my head and not from some reference or real life objects. I believe that it was a YouTube channel named Peter Draws that inspired me to experiment with the pen. But we'll talk about him again soon. And to the right is some book cover. This is where I tried to learn to apply perspective and it was drawn using some YouTube tutorial. Now these mushroom images are probably my favorite from all of those 3 folders. I drew them using a photo reference, but man, I just really love the shading here. This is some more straight out of the hat nonsense along with some more mushrooms and a character from a Soviet cartoon. In order to draw this sketch, I used the charcoal my girlfriend gave to me. This is probably the one and only time I used this gift, but hey, I had to use it at least once, right? Here are some more mushrooms. I actually ran out of cool pictures that I wanted to redraw on a paper, so these are not quite as impressive. At some point I realized that when I redraw cartoons, they look kinda cool, and I just kept going with it. On the top is Winnie the Pooh. On the left is Wolf from Just You Wait. And to the right is once again a character from Winnie the Pooh. See, so I actually lied to you. There are 2 more mushrooms, the look of which I really enjoy. And in the bottom left corner is Peter Draws. On the back side of this picture I wrote, Peter Draws has taught me something. Now I just want to have fun with art, not the perfection. So basically once again I was too afraid of making a bad drawing, and I realized that this was giving me mostly bad feelings. Since once again I couldn't draw human faces, I decided to once again break out of my comfort zone and draw Peter himself. I was trying to forget about the limitations I put on myself in my head and actually have fun with art. Like, draw because you like it, not because you want someone else to like what you made. And these are the kinds of pictures I started to draw once this thought had hit my brain. Like the trees, man, they have so many leaves, they are so complex, their branches are so weird, how do you draw them? And, well, I just said, screw it, I'm gonna draw it. I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna do whatever I want. And the bottom picture is me once again experimenting with the pen. These kinds of pen doodles is actually what Peter draws most of the time. The top picture is another doodle, and the bottom one is the combination of a pen with heavy pencil shading. The girl's name is Hatsune Miku, and I learned about her on a Twitch stream by Bisnap. I used to watch a lot of his videos, especially dedicated to the Binding of Isaac, but at some point I also decided to check out his streams and I saw this game Hatsune Miku Project Diva. It was a rhythm-based game in which you had to press a lot of gamepad buttons in a correct sequence and very quickly. This is the kind of stuff that I would really love to play, but unfortunately it was a console exclusive. And thinking that something like that isn't available on PC, I decided to make Neri, which is basically an infinite runner plus Hatsune Miku Project Diva. If I remember correctly, these real-life photo studies were inspired by another YouTuber who draws art with pens. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Alfonso Dunn. This is some more of the same stuff. Once again, Soviet cartoons. This kind of stuff was pretty straightforward to me. It didn't require much thinking, it was easy to draw, and I really enjoyed the way it looked. The top one is Just You Wait, and the bottom one is the Soviet version of Winnie the Pooh. This is when I once again decided to try to learn how to draw people, and this one was made with the same reason. These are more of the, I think, Soviet cartoons. So I had this idea that I had to draw at least 15 minutes a day, every single day, even if I was on a vacation or, well, I don't know, busy. To the left is the character from a cartoon you guys probably heard of, Carlson. No, I don't mean the upcoming game by Danny. This is from the actual old fairy tale named Carlson. And once again, an attempt at trees, weird things. That's one more cartoon about a parrot named Kesha. At this point of time I decided to try drawing faster. I'm actually still trying to learn this skill because I realized that what you draw in 15 minutes without really focusing on the details often actually looks better than something that you would spend an hour on. And in an even worse case scenario, you would spend like 2 days drawing a picture that could realistically be drawn in an hour. And what is worse, nobody would even notice it because you were working on some tiny little details that nobody can notice. So yeah, the numbers at the bottom are how much time it took me to draw these pictures. This little fella is Woody Woodpecker. These are some lovely hats. These bad boys probably don't need explanation. However, what's interesting is that I forgot about this picture, and around 5 years later I made a logo for a game using some similar revolver. And actually this logo is one of those cases when I have a logo, have some art for the game, but there is no game. And if we add that to my previous statement about drawing faster, this means that I spent a lot of time drawing something that I didn't even end up using at all. So if I spent less time doing it, I at least wouldn't feel so bad about it. This is a candle, and once again, I don't think I remembered about this picture when I drew something very similar in a digital form. Speedrunning art before it was a thing. I'm just kidding, it probably was already, but maybe it wasn't at least as popular on YouTube. Schnaggles. Everybody can stand till Ivan pulls out a snail out of his pocket. Surprisingly, a simple spoon is one of the worst pictures I've ever drawn. Yet another tree. Oh, that is probably my favorite cartoon ever. It's named School 13, it only has like 4 or 5 full parts. But man, it's so good. I think I saw it for the first time like, I don't know, 8 years ago maybe? And I keep rewatching it a couple times every year. This cartoon, available only in Russian, has 18 million views on a channel that isn't even official. But apparently that still wasn't lucrative enough, and the people who used to make it quit doing that. That is very unfortunate. At some point I decided that I just have to learn to draw animals, so the next few pictures are probably going to be just animals or animal body parts. Here is a raccoon, 2 raccoons in a cartoonish style, some weird character probably drawn from imagination. This is... forgive me if I'm wrong, because I just can't find the proper name, but this is something like an Irish gnome, Irish dwarf, I don't know, something like that. There's one more character from World of Warcraft with probably one of the most iconic weapons in the game. More raccoons in all kinds of poses. Another raccoon and an attempt to draw fur. And after that, you can see that I watched a tutorial on how to draw fur and later started applying it to pictures and they instantly became better. More raccoons. I think that at this point of time I had an idea that if I draw enough of something from all kinds of perspectives, then I'll be able to draw them from the head. This is, I think, one of the big misconceptions about art, that you need to know how to draw everything from imagination. Like really, nobody draws without a reference. And if they tell you they do, well, most of the time they're either lying or just a really bad artist. Or a very, very, very good artist that is specialized in one field only. Because even if, for example, you know the anatomy, you know how to draw the person from all the angles, you can imagine them in your head, you still will probably pull out some reference for their special tribal clothing, for some jewelry, belts, or other details that you might not be as familiar with. This is my one and only attempt to draw something with paint. I don't know, I just really didn't like to color things, and I still don't, especially with pencils, it's just the worst. More raccoons. And now here, this is the kind of stuff that I draw from my head. I probably tried to make it interesting, but look at the pictures on the left side. They don't have any details at all. And the ones they have, they look pretty bad. This is some more stuff of me going the wrong way and trying to draw from imagination. I'd like to say that this raccoon on the right side is drawn from imagination, but actually this was just some weird picture, I don't know what happened here. Some more stuff drawn from my head. This time I once again found another YouTuber I was excited about. This was Aaron Blaze and his free course on drawing elephants. More elephants in their comparison to kitties. Even more elephants, and a note that, an elephant's nose is above their eyes. I found that funny at the time. A meerkat, one of my favorite animals. More elefantos, more mercatos, nemo de fichos. Yeah, you can tell that I'm tired of looking at these pictures and describing them with the same words again and again. More do attemptos et understandable de mercatos. You can see that I even wrote something here, but I don't think I ever referred to these notes. But also I think that the pictures that resulted from this kind of more analytical approach of trying to understand how these animals work look more realistic. More elephant, more raccuno elephanto mercato. Elephant feet are weird. This is probably one of the coolest animal drawings I've ever made, and you can see that it isn't too heavy on details, like I didn't spend too much time making it. So I think that I tried to draw it fast, I didn't spend too much time on tiny details and instead focused on the key elements, like the iconic parts of the elephant that make an elephant an elephant. And as a result, it actually looks, well, quite appealing to me. This one's actually also pretty cool, except for the head. Forgive me if I misspell his name, but this is Serge Tankian from System of a Down, one of my favorite bands actually. Oh, I actually forgot about this too. Well, you know, maybe actually sticking to one topic leads to making better results in the future. Like the first elephants were much worse than these ones. And they probably also took me much more time than that. These are just some random out of nowhere bad pictures. Like this is something that I think many people try to hide. Like they try to show only the best pictures, like only their ideal perfect games. They don't want to admit that they too make mistakes. Like this is the stuff, this is just awful. This is something that I would draw like 2 years prior to the previous drawing. But in fact, it came after it. And after that, immediately comes some complex fish skeleton that I don't even understand what's going on, but it looks kinda cool. And yet another fatty elephanti. How many elephants did I actually draw? And yet another bad picture. I didn't know how to draw wings, and they turned out terrible. I didn't commit enough effort to making them look good, and I didn't spend enough time learning how to draw them, and they turned out to be awful. Landscapes, once again a topic I don't understand, and well, these thumbnails are actually not that bad in my eyes. More luck, we're back to World of Warcraft. Oh, this one, I forgot about it, but actually I remember it as if it was yesterday. You guys won't believe it. When I started making this drawing, Oh, hi Mark, it's a pleasure to meet you here. I'm a big fan of your free YouTube art school, and you know, your butt crack shading tutorial is my favorite thing. Oh no, I triggered his ultimate skill, everyone hide! Warcraft. And here comes the time for a new YouTuber in my life. Or well, it might not have been a new YouTuber, but at least me trying to draw like him was new. This was a free course on anatomy by Jazza. I was still trying to learn how to draw people, and the spoiler, I still don't know how to do that. And I spent, well, a considerable amount of time doing that. Actually, the next picture is a Spongebob. More people, simplification of people, complication of people, just people everywhere. And an elephant! Elephant! Although this one is kinda ugly. This is probably yet another case of me trying to draw something from imagination. It is a bad guitar drawing. And here is a picture of the same guitar made by my mother a couple years ago. And now this here is probably a guitar drawn at least with some reference. This is once again my old guitar and a fish that I actually have right here. This big fella was also made by my mother. Man, I envy her skills. And since we're here, well, this guitar was also made by her. She made the items I showed you probably like 3, 4, 5 years ago. And if you'd like to see what kind of stuff she makes now, well, go ahead and follow her on Instagram. I think she would be pleased. Just keep in mind that she doesn't understand English, but she'll try to Google Translate your message and then answer in English back again. These are some more objects I have lying around in my room. And in the end, after all those pictures that I think look cool, we come back to ugly cats. A lot of ugly cats. And actually, you know, after 3 pages of poor little kitties, some of them started to look good. This just proves the point. If you keep doing something over and over again, you'll inevitably get better at it. I'm showing you all of the things and I'm making this video because I sincerely hope that it will inspire you, at least a little bit, to either keep pursuing the things that you love and doing them every day, or if you haven't yet, start doing it. Back with some more kitties and kitty skeletons. Here I tried to simplify the skeleton of a cat because I was either willing to animate them in the future, or I thought that, you know, maybe I would be able to draw them from more angles this way. The head that I practiced looks kind of okay, but everything else that I was drawing for the first or maybe the 5th time in my life, it's awful. Here are more cat bodies along with their simplified skeletons. Even more cats. Cats again. Felines once more. Weird looking cats. Minimalist cats. Objects from my room. Eagle. Composition tutorials. A spooder. And a nice little skull to mark the end of my daily sketches. I don't remember why it happened, but it doesn't matter. If you, for some reason, would like to download all of these pictures, I'll upload them to my Patreon page. Also, I myself got inspired by looking at my old art and how much progress I was able to achieve by drawing something every single day. That is why I started a new daily art challenge, and I'm posting all of that once again on my Patreon. I'm already on week 4 when I'm recording this, so by the time Paul will edit this video it will probably be week, I don't know, 42? Sounds pretty accurate to me. But anyway, on that Patreon page I'm posting the things from my upcoming games. I like to make the art that I'm going to use somewhere, so I usually just focus on making art for projects, for my new games for example. And I show like everything. I'm usually pretty uncomfortable introducing people to the stuff that isn't yet finished, that I don't know if it will get finished at all, or maybe that I'm not quite sure if it looks good or not. But on my page every week I post 7 daily sketches that I made during that week, regardless of their quality, regardless of what you may learn about the game by seeing them. If you're interested in learning about my games before everyone else, please consider supporting me there. It would really help me become a full-time game developer and spend more time making games. And that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, or maybe it even inspired you to keep pursuing your dreams. If there is anything you are doing every single day or on a regular basis, please let me know about that in the comments. I'm always interested to hear about the people who are passionate about something. And I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.